What is going on, guys? This is Miasin, and I want to say this is going to be a very interesting video because I wanted to do this for a while, figuring out something good to do with Earthbound Immortals. I think you can already see where this is going. It is sad to say, but outside of doing really stupid gimmicky things with this deck, it's honestly impossible to actually play it seriously. Like, you can't really play, like, Earthbound Immortal, like competitively, and like make some big boards going first and break boards going second. The only way to actually play this deck is by doing the exact opposite of what Konami intended this deck to do, which is FTKing your opponent. And of course, because I'm obsessed with figuring out really stupid combos with just about any deck out there, you already know that I was able to figure out some honestly kind of consistent ways of killing your opponents with Earthbound Immortal, because I thought about the idea of incorporating the Runic engine. Not only gets you some draws, a lot, actually. I'm playing a lot of the Runic cards, not just like the, the small package, but also it gives you the ability to summon monsters that you can use as a synchro or fusion materials, actually, because this deck can only fusion and synchro. Can't link, can't exceed, unfortunately, otherwise FTKing would be super easy, and maybe this deck would be slightly less garbage. I was gonna say slightly better, but that's kind of pushing it too far. Anyways, before this video starts, because this is gonna be combo and deck profile at the same time, make sure you smash the like and subscribe button. I really need 1,000 likes on this video. And if I get 1,000 likes, I will be making, I don't know, a one-card FTK for any deck of your choosing. There you go. So, yeah, smash the like button. Anyways, this hand right here has Earthbound Fusion. That's the new card announced in Phantom Nightmare, I think, except if I'm stupid. And then we've got 3 Runic cards, doesn't matter which ones, because the only thing I do with them is just draw cards, and Earthbound Prisoner Groundkeeper. This card's kind of like a tour guide, but only for Earthbound cards, and it locks you, which is very frustrating. Yeah, you see, like, there's literally no way to actually play this deck seriously. Anyways, on my draw phase, playing around Droll, not that it matters, because if you get Drolled, you're not FTKing your opponent anyways, because this deck draws like 25 cards. But yeah, normal summon the Groundkeeper after searching your fountain with the Hugin. Summon this card right here, the Prisoner Linewalker. This card searches your Earthbound Prison from deck to hand. And this card is one of the worst design cards I've ever seen in my entire life. It has a huge ass text, but you don't need to, like, you literally do not need to read anything outside of, during your main phase, you can normal summon 1 Earthbound monster in addition to your normal Earth summoner set. That is literally the only thing you need to read, like, off of this card. That's it. But yeah, now I'm gonna be, of course, you can already guess where this is going, but I'm gonna be synchro summoning with Garden Rose Maiden. That is the reason why the Runic engine is broken, because I get draws and also synchro and fusion materials. So yeah, 3 + 2 = 5, Surge's Black Garden. I have 3 field spells in my hand. This deck searches, like, all the field spells in the world. And like I said, it's low-key kind of consistent. Anyways, Earthbound Fusion fuse the 2 for the Earthbound Servant Geo Gremlina. That searches any Earthbound monster from deck to hand on summon. So again, I actually search like a lot of the combo pieces that I need for this combo very consistently. Anyways, now I will be activating the Runic Fountain, and I'm gonna be summoning the Hugin. So again, it literally does not matter which Runic cards you draw, as long as you draw like a decent amount. You should be able to just summon a bunch of Hugins, which serve as, again, materials for stuff, and also tribute summon stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna be discarding the Greater Linewalker to search another field spell. That is completely irrelevant. The only thing that I want is, I could actually keep the Greater Linewalker in my hand, because the graveyard effect of Earthbound Fusion also allows me to special summon a monster from the hand. But I'm gonna be drawing into a bunch of irrelevant cards, doesn't matter. This one's actually pretty good though. Earthbound Prisoner Stone Sweeper. But yeah, now I'll be activating Black Garden, and then graveyard effect of Earthbound Fusion, revive by the Greater Linewalker, which again, I search consistently in the combo. And I'm now going to be giving a token to my opponent. The Greater Linewalker will search for the Asilapiscu. So again, literally every single combo piece you need to kill your opponent, literally, is searchable. So it's not like you have to sack the nuts or something. And then the few cards that you physically need to draw, you can still search it with by other means, or you can just draw with the Runic cards. But yeah, now I'm gonna be going discard the Stone Sweeper to search the Vision Resonator. You have like 10 copies of this card. You have that and the Crimson Gaia or the Stone Sweeper. It's so super easy to search. And basically the only thing that this does is give you a special summon and then the ability to synchro summon, which is irrelevant because I'm just trying to give a lot of tokens to my opponent, but all these steps are completely useless. But yeah, this is going to be reviving back an Earthbound monster from my grave, and it's not like, again, this is going to be good going second or to make a board going first. only good at killing my opponent. That's it, that's all. Black Garden, give yet another token, and then activate the Earthbound Prison, and then Tribute Summon for the Asilapiscu, and then the Greater Line Walker will be reducing my opponent's life points to 3,000. So I think, again, you already understand where this is going. My opponent only has 3k life points, and now I synchro off the level 10 Asilapiscu with the level 1 Groundkeeper that I was able to revive back off of the Geo something Griffin in order to make the Psychic and Punisher, whatever monster, doesn't matter. And then Asilapiscu will be triggering its effect because it left the field without being destroyed because you do not control a field spell. I destroy every monster my opponent controls and burn my opponent for 800 for each monster destroyed. So if you know how to sequence everything correctly, this will always lead to an FTK, and I still have 4 cards in my hand, so I could still achieve this combo without getting the hand that I necessarily drew for this combo. Alrighty, combo number 2, my hand is, not bad, obviously. I have the Earthbound Fusion as well as Stone Sweeper. Runic Fountain, only 1 runic spell, and another Stone Sweeper, so it's definitely not the best, but it still gets you there. So the Stone Sweeper is going to be searching the Groundkeeper. That's going to be summoning, again, the Line Walker. It's not like you have any other options because, again, this deck doesn't do much of anything. Freezing Curses, summon the Hugin, which you do need. Like, there is no way you can kill your opponent if you draw 0 runic cards, but I'm playing such a massive amount that you're always going to be drawing, like, at least 1 runic spell. Anyway, Synchro into Garden Rose Maiden, Surge the Black Garden. Even if you draw Black Garden, it's not, like, a brick at all. It can be your discard fodder for the Hugin, and then Garden Rose Maiden recycles back from the graveyard to the hand as well. But yeah, anyways, replace the stupid Runic Fountain with the Black Garden, and then Synchro Fuse into the Geo Grablina, search for the Line Walker, special summon the Stone Sweeper, which is just a way to give a token to my opponent, and then Synchro summon into Stardust Charge, draw 1 card, and then give a token to my opponent. I drew a useless Runic Fountain, so that, yeah, it doesn't change anything. And then special summon the Greater Line Walker because I have a Synchro in my grave and a Synchro on the field. So it's actually hilarious because this is like an intended mechanic from Konami, and I was able to pull it off because I feel like almost every single other effect of the Earthbound Immortal cards are so incredibly bad that there is no way in hell someone can unironically pull them off. They're always like battle phase effects. It's like, if this monster battles or this card can attack directly this turn, like, who cares, bro? You're never gonna have a battle phase, like, never. But yeah, Black Garden, give a token to your opponent, and then Greater Line Walker, search the Asilapiscu, and then I'm gonna be Tribute Summoning for the Asila, reduce my opponent's life points, revive back the Groundkeeper with a Fusion, and then the exact same thing, Synchro off for Psychic and Punisher, and my opponent is dead. So yeah, like I said, pretty much every path leads to Rome. You don't need like a super insane combination of cards to kill your opponent. It's not even like I drew the nuts here, I drew like another Runic Fountain, I only used like 1 runic spell, and my hand could have been like just billions of like different variations, and it's probably still would have worked, but if you brick too hard, you're not gonna make it. But yeah, this deck definitely could be scary in the future if we get like real Earthbound support, because so far, again, all this deck does is just like gimmicky stuff every now and then, and if you get hand-trapped to once, you're not doing jack shit, but it's still an FTK, so it's funny. And of course, when I look at Earthbound Immortal cards, that's the only thing I can think of. So yeah, unless Konami is willing to like fix that completely, that's the only thing people will ever use this entire archetype for. Anyways, now let's get into the deck profile. Alright, now for the deck list, I am not playing a lot of monsters because, look at that. Every single Earthbound Immortal monster is ass. Like, I'm not trying to play Uru or Kukapakapu or Chaku Chalu. I mean, Chaku Chalu is not that bad, but it's not on the same level as Asilapiscu. And then Kusulu is piss. Kokoraya also garbage. Wirako Charaska, I mean, you could hand loop your opponent, I guess, but it's dog shit. And then I'm playing all the good ones. I mean, this is like literally the worst card ever. Earthbound Immortal monsters cannot be destroyed by their own card effects. Ooh, oh my god. And that's it. That literally, I'm playing all the good cards that do something. It's like, this is such an underdeveloped archetype. It's so sad. Like, the boss monster of the deck, this card right here, the Servant Geograsha, is literally worse than the level 6. Like, this card is better than the boss monster, and it's easier to summon. This is one of the worst card effects I've ever read in my life. So bad. So freaking bad. But yeah, the Geo Kraken is honestly not that bad. Like, you can... It's garbage, but like, it's better than the boss monster. And then 100 Eyes Dragon is like, it does nothing in its own archetype. Even though technically it's not Earthbound Immortal, it was played by Callum Kessler in the anime. And then, yeah, I mean, the level 6 Synchro is like so incredibly bad that just because of that, I didn't want to mess around with Harmonic Synchro Fusion, which is this card right here. It's obviously really cool, but it is not good. Yeah, unfortunately. Anyways, so yeah, 3 Greater Line Walker, no shit. 3 Stone Sweeper, 3 Groundkeeper, 1 Line Walker. This card is not good enough on its own, but technically you could actually look into playing 3 copies of it because you still need it in order to synchro off into the Garden Rose Maiden with Hugin, and that gets you a lot of the pieces that you need for the combo. So yeah, that's nice. And then one is Lapiscu, obviously searchable with the Greater Line Walker. This is Attack at Hamburg. If you draw it, it's not really good, but it's not the end of the world. You still combo off. There's no Garnets in this deck per se. 3 Vision Resonator. This is pretty much a free special summon. It's also a great discard off of the Hugin because it searches the Crimson Gaia, which then searches another Vision Resonator. Don't go thinking this is a really cool Resonator slash Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, or rather Red Dragon Archfiend engine in this deck. It's very gimmicky. All you do is just summon a level 2 tuner and that's it, that's all. I'm being so honest, I'm actually talking shit on all these cards, but trust me, I actually really like them. It's just that there's no way to actually take this deck seriously right now, unless you're doing it, like, you're playing it the way I am, which is FTKing your opponent. But yeah, a lot of the runic spells, like I said, so 18 spells, and then 2 field spells. So 3 Freezing Curses, 3 Runic Tip, 3 Slumber, 3 Flashing Fire, 3 Destruction. These are the 15 good ones, and I'm also playing one of all the bad ones. So Golden Droplet discard's actually garbage. Like, you never want to use its real effect, you only use the special summon effect. And then 1 Dispel, this card's not too bad. And then Smiting Storm. It's honestly not too bad either, so it's better than Golden Droplet at least, because this card makes your opponent draw a card. Hell nah. And then 3 Earthbound Fusion. You desperately need to find this card in your combo if you want to kill. Otherwise, I mean, you could FTK without this card. It's just it's gonna take more cards, but it's definitely doable. And then I am playing, of course, the 1 Crimson Gaia, searchable off of Vision Resonator, and also searches Vision Resonator, so it's really nice. And then 1 Earthbound Prison, which is searchable by the Line Walker. 1 Black Garden, again, from Garden Rose Maiden, and the 2 Runic Fountain. So it's a very logical 40-card deck list. I guess it could actually become a little better if you don't want to play the Resonator package, but for me, it has been decent. And for the extra deck, 1 Guardian Chimera, because if you can't FTK, you can still play a Runic deck to, like, stabilize and at least FTK over time. Like, not on turn 1, but, like, over time. Like, you can still do it. And you can still Fusion Summon into Guardian Chimera on your opponent's turn, so that's not too bad. Like, this card's actually really good. So this was a step into the right direction to make Earthbound like a real deck, because it's like a generic card for any Dark Fusions. And if you have a a card in your field zone, you can use this at any time, which is very nice. And it also has a great Monster Reborn effect. Fantastic card, but it does lock you under Fusion and Synchro only. If you use only the Graveyard effect, I think. But yeah, either way. And the effect of Fuse, by the way, is not once per turn. It's really similar to the Chimera Fusion spell. Very good card. Anyways, 1 Sleipnir, of course, because of the runic cards. 1 Geokraken. I don't even think you need it too much. Yeah, this should not be necessary. But again, if you want to play this deck as like a real Earthbound Immortal deck, I'm still maxing out on all the good cards, by the way. So yeah, at least you still have the options of summoning the real fusions. Just not the Geograsha, because this card's dog shit. Anyways, Geogremlina, great card. Runic Fangs, Freckid, I don't think you're ever summoning this card, it sucks. 1 Gary, this card's not too bad. Moonin, this should not come up. Double Hugin, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're basically just using it to Synchro Summon for the Garden Rose. Psychic and Punisher, Baron, double Geogriffin, I don't know why I'm playing 2, but why not? Stardust Charge Warrior, yes, and then Garden Rose Maiden to search the Black Garden. For the idea section, I don't really need to cover much, but Chaku Chalua, I guess, is another card that can burn your opponent, so it's not too bad, but it's not really good. And then this card right here, I actually considered it because you can search it with the Stone Sweeper, and you can actually give control of this card to your opponent, which might turn on some FTKs that I might have missed out on, but I don't know. If you find something that is better than what I was able to pull off, let me know in the comment section below, guys, because I'm really interested. Anyways, this card's dog shit. Second copy of this, third copy of that, and then this for burning in time. But like, that's a good one because this deck is always winning in time. No, this card sucks. This card also sucks. This card is very bad, and I mean, it searches and recycles back an Earthbound Immortal monster from the graveyard to the hand. If this deck had a Rhoda, deadass, that searches any Earthbound card from your deck to your hand, it would already be so much better. And then Earthbound Geoglyph is also very bad. Again, like, all these cards are just so old, so bad. Like, there's nothing serious that you can do with this deck. But yeah, I hope you guys were able to appreciate this extremely honest combo video and deck profile. Again, I would have loved to make like you know, like an actual pure Earthbound Immortal control deck, but that's wishful thinking. If there's ever more support in the future that doesn't suck ass, I will be revisiting this deck. You already know it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I had for this one. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.